Okay, so this day we want to sketch this block. So in sketching this block, we start with a line. Remember, in drawing an isometric block, you need an angle of 30 degree and 90. Always 30 and 90. That's what made up a isometric drawing. 30 degree and 90 degree angles are what made up a 90 degrees an isometric block. So I'll be starting with a line. To draw an isometric block, you must start with a foundation, which is this baseline, which is called the baseline. So after drawing this, remember, we always draw with faint line, no thick line. So, but for the purpose of me doing this, for the purpose of you seeing it, I'm using my pencils for faint line. You get? Then my thick line, maybe I use a pen. Okay? So, as of now, what we need to do is get a point. We want to produce this block over here. So this is how we do it. You just come here, use your protractor. This point, you could place it on this point. Okay? No? We kept it the wrong way. So you placed it on this point. Then you mark here 30. You mark here 30. Then what do you need to do? You join the points. You join here. You join here. As you can see. Okay, let me dimension the block over here. Here, 10, 10, 10 as usual. Then this length we give here, let me say, I'm coming. Okay, so we've done the dimensioning 6, 3, 3, 3, 5, up here 2, and the height 2. So we'll be creating that now. So you use your ruler, your scale, and measure this distance from here to here, which is your 5. So you put it here. Take your 5. That's it. And the opposite side, which is the 6, you put it here, which is 6. Mark the point. This is the point for 6. So what you need to do now is to project it upward, which is done through 90 degree. This will help you. Just put it here. Let this align the draw, or you can choose to place it on top here. Let the base align, then you draw. This is your 90 degree angle. So I'll do it this way. I put it here and I project upward. Put it here. Project upward. No, it's aligning with the baseline, your foundation line. Okay. I put it here, like in alignment. Then I project it upward. That's it. So what do I need to do now? Since all distance here is 3, 3. Simple. Just come here, mark one side with my scale. Three. Use my 3. There's no need repeating the measurement here. What do I need to do? I just come here, place my either a ruler or anything, any of this, as far as they have measurement and so. I placed it on this thing. You see it's in alignment with this line. Then what do I need to do? I put this on it and fix my hand on this. Apply a little pressure on this so it won't move. Then I glide this on it to get my angles, as we earlier stated. So I glide it to this point where it touches this part. Then I draw my line. Okay, I draw my line. Then let me extend this one to touch it. So to this point, if you check now, the measurement from here to here is automatically the same measurement from here to here. Okay, so if you measure it now, you see it is 3, as we've said. So there's no need measuring here again, or you can still measure here, come here, measure here, come here, measure here. It's still the same thing. It's your choice. So I want to get to this other part. Let me try. Let me extend it. Let me extend this part. Okay, then I place it here, anyway, on my line. Then I put it the other way, the opposite way. Okay, putting it the opposite way, then sliding it to touch this point. Sliding it to touch this point. Then I draw. I project it. That's it. I've gotten my other angle. If you check here to here, is the same measurement with all this side as we have here, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so this is another point. So what next is to drop the upper part. the upper part of this block, what do I need to do? I still place my protractor or ruler or anything. It's just for something to get the alignment of this. I can use this to do the same work. Put it here. Then what do I need to do? I'm trying to get this shape, this another angle that went this way to join. I told you in isometric drawing is between 90 and 60. These are 90 to not to this angle, but 90 to this baseline. If I say let me extend it downwards now, this angle here is 90 degrees. Why these ones here are 30 degrees? 30 degrees angle. So you see, an isometric block is usually from 90 to 30-degree angle. Those are the two angles that make isometric block. So take note. Then what next do I do? I want to get the upper part. So I'm putting this thing to align with my baseline. It must align with my baseline. So I'll be making an angle of 30 always. So what do? I fix this one in alignment with this. Then for this to glide up, so I glide it to this side, slide it to this side. Then where it touches the point, I project. Coming over here, I do the same, but I'll adjust this a bit to this side. Then I slide it to this point and I join. All these are faint lines, remember. So I want it to touch this place, so I extend my line as the picture shows. I extend my line to this way, to this place. Now we have an intersection, right? So we've closed this bracket, but there's something up here which we are not done with. Okay, so and if you notice, it's sitting at the middle of this block, but the middle of this line, but at the side of the block. So how do we do that now? Okay, so we take, since from here to here we give it as distance 6, that means from up here to here should be 6, here to here 6, here to here 6. So since it's 6, half of 6 is what? 3. So we get our 3 using our set square to measure, and this is our 3, which is the middle half of this. So after getting our midpoint, what is here? They said 2 is the distance from here to here. So what do? We place our ruler here to get to, using here as midpoint. So you pick 1 here, pick 1 here. That's 1 centimeters, 1 centimeters. So now we've gotten 2 centimeters, which they asked for us. Okay, how do I do it? Placing this here. Now we've gotten the midpoint, but I want to get 2 centimeters of this. I want to say, let me put it 2 centimeters. It will be going off track. So what do? I divide it by 2 and take 1 in the left side, 1 in the right side to get my center line and make it stay at the middle. So that's just what I did here. So after doing this, I simply just place my ruler here. Then I slide this to this point. Please be mindful of what I'm calling all this. Place this here. So I extend, as it touches the point, I just extend to any length first. All these are faint length. Any length, then I extend this other part, which is not needed, but you just have to do it. Extend this other part. So what do I need to do? They said from here to this side is also 2. So since from here to this side is also 2, it's like a box, a square. All sides are equal. So we put it here to measure. I measure my 2. I come here, sliding it this way. These things will make your work easier and faster. So I just join it to this point, like so. So this being done, what do I need to do next? I get the height, which is always 90 degrees to the baseline. So since this is my baseline, I just turn this to my 90-degree point and project it upward. Project this one upward. Project this one upward. But if I project this, you see they've not intersect here and here. So what do I need to do? Either I take the measurement, which should be 2 from here to here, which is 2. I mark it, or I just extend this one here. The choice is yours. It will give you this, but this will not show on the diagram because it is hidden. It will be a hidden detail. So I continue this way, then I project this 90-degree up. Remember, the height now is 2. They give us 2, so you use your ruler and just measure it. This is 2. So after measuring this 2, what do you need to do? You just slide it. You've picked a point already. You don't need to be measuring each side. You just come here, slide it to this point, come here, slide it to this point to where it intersects and project upward. Then later we join. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so what do I do next? Still place it here, but if I do it now, I won't get to this point. So what do I need to do? I just have to top up this line, raising it up a bit. This is my baseline. So by doing that, I just come here, then draw this. It's parallel to this side. So it will still give me what I'm looking for. So I place this up here now. Since I've drawn this line, which is parallel to this side, it's just like I'm increasing the height of this. So I'll be able to place my thing here to get to the shape here. You get? So putting it here in alignment to this, I've gotten one side. So I just glide this to this point and I draw it, project it upward, come here, do the same, slide it to this point. So sliding it to this point, I do it this way, like so. So this is it, done it to this point, done it to this point. So then I join this my line to this. As you can see, I join it to this. So actually we've made this block now. So construction lines are the remaining. Then I'll use blue pen to show you the thick line. So these are your thick line. You outline it by making it bold when you join. So this, okay, let me join this one. So we've rightfully represented this block which was given in the question. So watch out for my next video.